my legs. So I'm always put my leg up onto the platform. You can also adapt these and you can do them in like at home or on the floor or something like that, but I just like to use a stoop or a step or a little wall outside your house. So I've got my knee up, and basically what I'm going to do now is lean forward, and this is going to help kind of stretch out my whole hip area. It's also going to stretch out the back of my leg a bit, and when you feel this, you can really kind of feel everything like opening up and relaxing. What you want to make sure is that your knee here does not go over your toe. That's how you can cause injury. So you're just stretching that out, leaning into a little bit. It's going to help as well with the front of your opposite hip, the hip that is, or the leg that's straight down. It's going to really help with that. So that's the first stretch that I do. Then I move on and I'm going to get the back of my leg. So I straighten out this leg and I get my heel up and I move it as close as I can towards my face, and that's going to start stretching out my calf. And that's a lovely, like, especially for anybody with plantar fasciitis, that's really going to help stretch you out. And then to get into my hamstring a bit more, I'm going to lean over. And what you can do is put your hand down and take your opposite hand to the one that the leg is straight, and you're going to lean over. That's going to help stretch out the side of your body, and it's also going to give you a further stretch on the back of your hamstring. If you want to go a little bit further, and maybe depending on the height of your wall, you can also bend your straight knee. Again, wanting to make sure that your knee never goes over your toe. So that's really going to stretch into that hamstring and help loosen it up. Then I'm going to bring my knee back to the neutral position, and I'm going to move my foot in a tiny little bit. So a little hop in. And now I want to start stretching out my back and the outside of my legs. So I'm going to take the opposite hand to what's up on the table or up on the shelf or wall, and I'm going to put my elbow towards my knee, and I'm going to stretch and look back over my shoulder, and that really helps to stretch out my whole back. You can also just grab your hand and do the same thing, looking over your back, over the shoulder. Don't forget to breathe when you're doing this as well. And then I'm going to come around the other side. So maybe babe, if you could come here for a sec. So I'm going to stretch the inside of my leg now and kind of my groin area. So I'm going to take the elbow of what's up on the platform, and I'm going to, that's okay buddy, I'm going to push, and I'm going to push in like this into almost like a prayer position. And this is really helps stretch out the inside of your leg. It's such a lovely feeling. You want to hold each of these stretches for about 5 to 10 seconds, and you can kind of work up as well to holding them for longer. 30 seconds I think is the ideal, but don't quote me on that. Then one of the last stretches I'm going to do with my leg raised, second last, is I'm going to grab my hands and intertwine them, bring them around my knee, and I'm going to lift my knee into my body. Make sure you hold your core in for stability so that you can stand up straight. This really helps with your hips and your groin. And then I'm going to bring this leg out, and I'm going to put it behind me, and I'm going to stretch out my hamstring a little bit more and my calf. What you want to do is work towards getting that back heel onto the ground. That's really going to stretch out your calf. Again, you're being mindful of the front here and your knee not going over your foot in the front here. So you're bending, but you're making sure that you're in line. Keep it nice and straight as well. And you're going to feel that lovely stretch. It feels really, really good. I'm going to come back to a neutral position. Now I'm going to show you 2 different quad stretches that I do. So it depends on your ability and how you find your balance. For people who feel that their balance is quite good, so you're standing with your feet just about hip width apart, and you're going to lift up your leg. You're leaning your body weight onto the standing leg, lift it up, and you're going to grab your toe, and you want to pull your toe up towards the sky. So your knee is in line with your other knee, making sure you got that core, you got your core engaged so that you don't fall over, and you're getting that lovely stretch into your hip. If you feel that you need a little bit more, you can kind of almost like push your hip bone forward just a tiny bit, and that kind of helps to feel that stretch a bit more. Now, if you feel that you're not able to do that. I was not able to do that at the start. I was not able to grab my leg from behind. I did too much behind going on, so I couldn't get to it. An easy one to do then is we're going to use our step again, always making sure that you're engaging your core for your stability, and you're going to lift your leg up onto the platform, and you're going to basically do exactly the same. Now I can see here that my knee is not aligned with my other knee, so I need to hop out a little bit. Of course you can just stand yourself in the first place better, but basically this is going to give you a similar type of swing out a little bit. So and now the final one that I love to do, use for your legs and the bottom half of your body, is to pop up your leg again onto your stand or your wall or whatever it might be, or your bench. Have your knee bent, and this is something you could do on the ground as well. You could sit like just with your feet together on the ground, but it's far too cold and damp to do that now. So I've got my knee in kind of like a half diamond shape, and I'm just going to lean over. And this is my favorite stretch. This feels so good on the outside of my quad, hamstring, kind of the outside of my leg. Just really helps to stretch out your glutes, and it just feels really lovely, especially if you walk properly. And I know that I've linked the video as well to ensure that you're walking properly. And then that's it. That's the end of your stretches for your legs. But then I also like to finish off with one really nice one for yourself. So maybe we might come back this way then. And I always do this every morning to the whichever direction the sun is going, if I'm lucky enough to have the sun, because a lot of the times I'm walking in the dark. But whatever way the sun is going, it's almost like a sun salutation for me. So your legs are hip width apart, and you're just going to raise up your arms, raise up, stretch, 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 and then interchange my fingers, and I lean over to one side. I'm not leaning like this, I'm stretching and tilting, so all the movement is coming from my rib cage. Oh, that feels so good. Stretching back up again, you can push your fingers, your hands outwards, and then over again. Oh, that feels so good. And then one final, now down for yourself. Stretching all the way down. That's going to be nice on your back, it's going to be nice on your hamstrings. Keeping your legs kind of straight, slight bend in them. And then slowly raise back up. And then you're ready to start your day after your long walk. Please try and stretch, even get a couple of